Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Lucy, and today we're going to be creating the last household to be moving into my rundown residential rentals. So this household consists of a young couple who are engaged and have just found out that they are pregnant. So the first sim I'm going to be creating is Jake Marshall. His aspiration is eco-economist and his traits are love the outdoors, good and optimistic. And we're also going to be making Emma Jackson. Her aspiration is big happy family and her traits are family orientated, romantic and creative. I'm now just going to give you a little backstory about this couple. So Emma and Jake didn't plan on starting a family this soon, or like this in fact. They met 2 years ago at a mutual friend's house party. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real. They dreamed of moving somewhere new, building a life together, saving for a nice house one day. Then Emma found out she was pregnant. Between her part-time job at a cafe and Jake's spotty construction gigs, they barely had enough to cover rent. When their landlord raised the price again, they packed up the furniture they had and put it into Jake's truck and trailer and drove to Willow Creek, chasing cheap rent and a fresh start. The place they found is rough with leaky pipes and peeling wallpaper, but Emma's trying to make it feel like a home whilst Jake fixes what he can. They don't have much, but they have each other and a baby on the way. They're scared, tired and broke, but determined, because sometimes love and a little faith is all you need to start over. And also I will just give you a heads up, so these sims do use a lot of CC, however if you would like to download them then my gallery ID is down in the description below, and yeah, let's get into it. wrap, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget that if you would like to download them, then my gallery ID is down in the description below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button and turn on that post notification bell. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any ideas on what I should do next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!